I think we're live now. Hey, we've got 4 people at the start of the stream. That's a new one too. That never happens. Uh, loading up the analytics here, so I can keep you guys on the side. Put the chat on the side. There you go. Can you guys hear me? Can I hear myself? Put the chat on the side. Nope. That is the wrong mic. Oh, 1 second.
I think it's this one. Right. Testing, testing. Be a lot better now for sure. Take a look. Better now for sure. How's everyone? Now, thank you. Thank you, Robin. Dude, like I've missed out on YouTube for like 2 months now. And apparently there's points. So you've all got points now. No idea what that means, but #1 seems to be good, right? So most light and Arconath for winning that. So are you now, Robin. You switched from 2 to 1. No idea. No idea what that even means. Gosh. Yeah, how's everyone? How's everyone? Wow, I was away in the stream, no clue. Let's click on it. What does it actually mean? So it's like a little, yeah, just a chart, I guess. Interesting. XP chart. So I guess the more messages you send, the better place you get in there, right? No Coke Zero today, but we have a full-on Lucozade, which is a glucose drink, and that should keep me awake for the whole duration of the stream, for sure. Don't forget to... Thank you, yeah. I'm sure you'll be placed in #1 now. Let's see. Wait, does it count the number of messages? No, it just says XP, dude. I'm sure there's a way to figure out how it works, and you can cheat the system. But yeah, hope you guys are all doing fine. It's been a massively long time since I've streamed, to be honest. As you can probably tell, I've got a lot of things going on in life at the moment. Work, mostly, to be honest, which is keeping me away from the streams, but I'm going to try and make some time, for sure. Life isn't just work, right? So, first of all, although I have not been streaming, I've been doing quite a lot of work on Urchin. We now have a full-on deployment, which kind of, every time you push something to Urchin, it will go into this nicely done website. Shout out to Al. Al is the person, I'm not sure if he's on stream, but he's the person who redesigned Urchin. It looks a lot nicer when I don't have my dark mode extension fucking things up. So let's take a look at that. But there's been a redesign, there's been some new features implemented. We now have like sticky posts, we've got a bunch of like gallery support. Yeah, of course the WSL doesn't actually let me. Okay, this WSL thing is broken. But yeah, this is what the design looks like. We support sticky posts on the homepage, so you can configure that. There's a bunch more stuff in the galleries, so yeah, I've worked quite hard on this gallery. It doesn't work very well. It looks shit, I know, but it works, and it kind of shows the pictures. You can configure the galleries with whatever images you want. It's like a config, and I'll show you guys in a bit. But it's a config in the TOML file. We got WebP support for image uploads. So I found that WebP compresses so much better than JPEGs, to the point that some of these larger images, right? Every time you push one of these images, the backend will like resize them, so you have like smaller. Wait, can I show you guys what I mean? So you have like smaller versions of it, so it doesn't pull the larger ones if you don't need to. So for example, in here, we've got which one's been pulled? The medium-sized one's been pulled, right? But then if you click on one of them, it will pull the large one. But yeah, it turns out that if you upload WebPs, some of the large images end up being smaller than the JPEG smaller images, which is very interesting. So if you guys are looking to save some bandwidth really for a website, take a look at WebP, because that can save you quite a lot of disk space for sure, especially when serving that. CDN support for AWS would be cool. It would be cool, yeah. That is something that we will definitely get to. I just haven't got to it. But on the topic of cloud stuff, right? Cloud infrastructure. Yeah, I've worked quite hard actually on getting the whole pipeline to automatically like push a new Docker image containing just the app, to the point that I can safely say that Urchin is supported on the like cheapest machines you can get on both Google and AWS, which will cost you something like $7 a month. And the reason for that is obviously the Golang infrastructure makes it it's just compiled code, right? So you don't have to do any building when starting up, which is quite nice. And yeah, and there's only like a database which you can run on the same machine, like a MariaDB database. That's what we support right now. So yeah, I mean, I've been this entire website is running on I think it's an E2 micro or whatever it's called on Google. It's a very short one. And yeah, automatically deployed. So whenever we merge something into main, we get the changes automatically, basically. Because I've set up all of the infrastructure for that, like service accounts and whatnot. I really wish I could show you guys that on the stream, but because it involves me fucking about with tokens and like service account credentials, I was really scared of streaming that, to be honest, because it's the kind of stuff where, you know, if you leak one of the tokens or one of the service account credentials, someone can go and spend like hundreds of dollars in your account in the matter of hours. And yeah, I didn't stream that. I hope you guys can forgive me for that. But if you guys ever want to talk about that stuff, how I do this, yeah, there's some cool TLS here done by Nginx as well. So I'm using like a reverse proxy with the I think it's called Swamp. Let's take a look at that. So if you have an application like Urchin, where it's not really secure, right? Urchin is not secure at all. It's just sending you buffers of HTML. If you want to secure that, so you can have your website served with HTTPS, for example, or TLS over HTTP, you can do, I think it's Swag Docker image, and it's a very nice and easy way to embed Nginx reverse proxy with Let's Encrypt or Zero SSL, which both do the same thing. It just gives you a certificate. But yeah, this will set everything up for you. You just got to read about it. And I would highly recommend this if you're just trying to spawn a quick app with security. It also has like jails, so people can't just try and like spam your website, for example. Or yeah, it has a few jails here, so it's really interesting. But that's what we're using on the entire like infrastructure for that website that you've just seen. With that said, I am happy to be back and do some more Golang development. One of the things that I know we don't have, that's totally fair. Yeah, Robin, you know, I guess you deal with that quite a lot, right? Because you mess around with cloud providers more than me, for sure. But I'm just very paranoid in leaking anything that can actually cost me money. Things like address, which I've done on the stream before, it's crazy that I've leaked those before. But yeah, I try. Where is the website hosted? It's Google Cloud, so it's automatically hosted on the VM in there. Yeah, if you guys want to see what it looks like in there, go for it. It looks quite nice, especially when you have different screens. I think Al did a bunch of that work. The only like thing that doesn't quite look nice is just the alignment of the post. I think it should probably take up the entire space here, but then yeah, we'll see. GCP, I see. Yeah, Google Cloud, GCP. I wanted to go for Amazon, but the thing is, like, I've already used my AWS credits years ago. So I'm sure you know, but if you subscribe for AWS the first time on your email, you get something like $300 in credits, which you can use over a year. And I had used that a while ago, so that was not an option. But Google Cloud has a forever credit thing where basically you can get like $1 off your bill every day. That's what it equates to me at the moment. So I only really pay something like maybe $5 to $7 to run this entire thing, and it's not a lot at all. But yeah, obviously I have to pay for things like the domain and whatnot, and some of the extra services. Like I do store all of these images on my own artifact registry as well, instead of just putting it on Docker. So that costs like maybe 5 cents a day. It's not too bad actually. Yeah, I had a similar thing with my school where I got like 1,000 worth of credits, but that only lasted for a year. Yeah, it's their tactic, right? Because if you think about it, the reason why AWS and GCP and Azure will give you credits. So you go and develop your product with their infrastructure, and then at the end of the year, you get this large bill, and it's not really easy for you to move out, right? Because you've already embedded your entire infrastructure with their system. So yeah, it's not ideal, but it's at the same time, it's good to get experience. And I've tried to develop things in a cloud agnostic way anyway, so I don't really use any of these specific Google apps, if it makes sense. So like, it's very easy for me to just move somewhere else if I have to. But yeah, I mean, those are the updates in the past few weeks. We've been working quite hard, not just myself. Al's worked quite hard on the whole redesign of Urchin. Ricardo is like one of the new developers that we have. If you're here, Ricardo, thank you very much for your work. Much appreciated. That's why I love VPSs, virtual private service. Yeah. I should have considered that, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, this is the update. We have Urchin running on a very, very low cost machine, so you can, if you want to, you can go and like set up a website for someone, get them to pay for it, and then you just deploy Urchin, right, for the back end. That's the goal that I have anyway. I know a few small businesses, especially there's this lady that my wife knows. I've told you about it, Robin. Yeah, they charged us they charged too much money for like a Elementor website, and I feel bad. But so where are we going today? Today we're actually implementing one of the features that I've been meaning to implement for quite a while, and that is unique links, right? So if I click on services, we have obviously got a link to services, which is just, I guess, a link to a page. But if I click on one of the posts, so take the post for this page you can see here, it just has post 2, which is not ideal, right? For SEO purposes, you probably want to have a permalink there, which is what, all the CMSs do. Like WordPress has that. It's just part of the post editing thing. Joomla, which is a CMS that not many of you will know, I guess. It was one of the ones I used back in the day. That also has support out of the box for permalinks, and I think it's the time for Urchin to actually do this, right? So first of all, let's get started. So close Chromium, we don't care about that. We're going to check out a new branch. I don't know, support for permalinks. Let's just do post at the moment. Let's push that. And let's figure out what it means to have a permalink, right? Because a permalink is essentially just, in memory, it's just a map of a path and then where it goes to, which post it goes to, right? So we can keep it very simple and then try and implement that. Oh, upgrade on the beverage, indeed. Not Nesty Coke. No, this has got actual sugar in it. So my Coke Zeros don't usually, and I am very tired today, so I kind of need the sugar at the moment. This has a little bit too much sugar, in fact. I probably shouldn't be drinking it at this time because I'm definitely not going to get good sleep. And it's a Friday tomorrow, so I'm not going to feel any good at work. But yeah. Let's open code in here. Let's also go to Urchin in here because we're going to use that as a live reload terminal. Urchin, great. And what can we do? We can go into Docker, I guess, and just, yeah, we can do a Docker compose up. Just leave the app running all the time. Unless we have to debug, then we'll probably start it from Visual Studio Code. Great. So first of all, there's a bunch of things. I don't think I have any tokens in a code base. I shouldn't do anyway. So let's increase this a little bit so you guys can see it. I have a cold beer by my side. Oh, dude, that's very nice. Got to celebrate with my streams. Yeah, man. It's like the Chinese New Year. It's just once a year, I guess. It makes sense, right? Chinese New Year. But same vibes here. Instead of fireworks, we've got a cold beverage. Wait, Chinese New Year is every year, of course, but like, when does the animal actually change? Like, is it every year as well? Like, animals, Chinese zodiac, like the year of the dragon and stuff. You know what I mean? 12 animals. What? I feel really stupid. When do animals change in Chinese? When does Chinese animal change? That's a tough question. At the start of the Chinese New Year. Right, so every new year it changes the animal. Fair. And apparently there's 12 of them. The 12-year cycle. Which year is it? What animal? Chinese year is it in 2025? Does anyone know? Year of the Snake. Right, cool. Didn't know that. Brock Daniel, hello, dude. Welcome to the stream, man. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. Anyway, let's go back into code. So I know for sure that I probably want to modify app.go into app. So basically wherever I have my roots, I probably want to do some sort of like setup roots. Yeah, probably setup roots, right? So let's think about this. So posts, right? So basically what we want to do is add a post. Like we want to do something like, I don't know, r dot post, I guess. Wait, does gin actually have like a redirect? It will do, right? Gin redirect. Golang. But not, I don't want a 301. I want it to just serve the content as it is, if it makes sense. And with 200, not 301. So we have redirect, status moved permanently, status found. There is a redirect, but it's for redirection purposes for sure. Interesting. Because really what I want to do is I want to add a cacheable handler. Oh, in fact, I could have a map here, right? So this is my permalinks. Let's say this comes from the database. We're not going to do that right now, but that is going to be a make. Oh, can we do map? Map of, it would be string, right, to, I guess, a post ID, which is int. What is the post ID type in this case? The post ID is a should binding ID is an int, right? Right, yeah, so that is an int. And I'm pretty sure we can do something like hello and 1, for example. Does that work? Hello 1, missing key, map literal. Or is it just that? Yeah, okay, that's the inline one. So what I would like to do is do a for loop on each one of these, which I somehow will get from a database, right? We want to run a, I think it's key value, if I'm not mistaken, in range of permalinks. Does that work? Declared but not used. Right. What type is this key and value? Okay, yeah, that will probably fall. Yeah, that will iterate over them. So we want to do a cacheable handler with R, and that will be definitely a get, I guess. And this will be the key, right? Well, in fact, let's just rename that. This will be the permalink, actually, right? Permalink path or something. And then this is the post ID. Okay. Now, this is where I actually put, wait, get. So add cacheable handler, this is the, wait. What should go in here? Definitely R. And the method, which is get. So we've got method string endpoint. Okay, endpoint is going to be permalink. And then the generator, what do I do? Yeah, that's going to be cache. That's the actual cache. We pass app settings, I guess, just by design. We may not need it. Okay, so the permalink thing, the generator, this is my permalink handler, or something, right? Or permalink post handler. Let's call it that. And we pass the database at the end. Right, so obviously we don't have this now, or we can probably just put one in here real quick. So let me just get the signature of this function. It should be something like this. Line 20, permalink post handler. This should return an error with some bytes. So this should be the page, I guess. Nil at the end, that's what we want for the page buffer. Great. So, This is going to be something even better, I think, because actually we want this function to generate a handler for that particular permalink, or maybe not. Let me think. Let me think what we want to do here. Yeah, I think we do want to do that, right? So instead of this, we will have, it's going to return a function taking that and returning error, yeah. So in here we want the post ID for sure, which is just an int. And then I can return my actual function in here, right? Yeah. Which will do the permalink, sorry, the post handle for that particular post. Cool. So we return the function, and then we take, pretty sure we don't even need these because we don't need to name them at this point. Great. And then we get the whole thing, right? So the context will be C in here, gin. It's going to be the app settings. This is going to be the database. Does the compiler like that? Kind of. What do we do here? Syntax, non-declaration statement outside a function. Non-declaration statement outside a function. What am I missing here? Expected operand found that. I guess we can just do this, right? Does that work? Cannot use this value of type function as function of gin. It takes context, common app settings, next, and database. Okay, yeah, because we just haven't said what he returns, I guess. Okay, now it's happy. Fine. Fine. So at this point, yeah, I say we just call. I guess we just call the post handler at this point, right? Let's see what that does. So that is a function taking everything that I want. Okay, yeah. So it's actually even easier. So it's just a return call to post handler. Post handler with that. And then we pass in C, data app settings. But we have to inject the post ID in there. That's the thing. App settings and then database. Is there anything else? What else does this take? C app settings database, yeah. So that should work in theory. Obviously, I have to come up here and then do a C dot request or something. Or request URI or requested. What do we have in request? Man, I miss working with C++ and I'm watching this. I have to find a new project that I can do and go with C++ again. Yeah. Go is like one of the only things that's giving me joys at the moment because I'm at work, I'm just using JavaScript most of the time and C++. But it's a large project and it's kind of painful to work with it. Both the C++ and JavaScript, to be honest. But yeah, I'm trying to keep Urchin as simple as possible because I've seen what happens when something is a bit complicated, to be honest. We're updating, right, so. And I do something similar to this in the swag PR, so let me take a look at that. So Golang gin call handler directly. That's what I want to do, right? I'm trying not to use AI because I do actually want to learn Urchin properly. And I feel like if I'm using AI to do the code for me, I'm going to just copy and paste it and not really understand what's behind it. But I know for sure that I do something like this in APR, which I have actually researched before. Is at least TypeScript at work? No, dude. It is not TypeScript. It is just JavaScript. Right, it is just JavaScript. So app.go will do that. So Jin Swagger has wrap handler. Swag, wow, this handler. Let's see. Yeah, in theory this should work though. In theory this should work. So returns a function that calls that. Of course, here I'm calling it directly, right? So it's not going to work. Yeah. What I really want to do is a function. Yeah, I mean, I was right in the first place. So it is just a function that does the proxying of the whole thing. Oops. Right, so we've got that. Paste it here. Okay, yeah. C, and then app settings, database. Right. We cannot use. Okay, yeah, same issue as before. We just hadn't put the damn return. But the Go compiler is a little bit better than that. It should be able to. Tell me what it's what we're doing here. Right. So the problem is the C here doesn't really have. So C.request, I say. There you go. So parameters maybe. Parameters, patterns. We have to override a parameter with what the post handler takes, right? I feel your pain. Yeah, dude, you feel my pain. Request, response, request, parameters, path value. Right. So we need to look at the Gin context and look at the parameters. Params. Okay, it's params. Yeah. So it is params. That's what we are. Params, there you go. What is that meant to be? That's meant to be params, which is an array of param. Param has got a key and value, right? Okay. So I guess we can use append here because it is a list, right? So append c.params. We're going to append a param where the key, right? Gin.param, okay, where the key is a string, and the key should be whatever the post handler expects, which is a post binding. Wait a second. Where is it? Oh no. Oh no. It's a URI thing, so it's not even a parameter. That is interesting. Hello, Slim. How's it going, dude? Welcome back. Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a good 2 months since I've last streamed. So really, we should be overriding this, the URI. Okay, I think that looks hacky, but it can work, right? So in essence, what I'm saying is we can do c.uri or something, request.uri, bind URI. What does that? Bind URI binds the past struct pointer using bind URI. It will abort the request with 200 if any errors occur. What does that actually do? C.should bind URI. Object, which is something that we use in post.go as well. Yeah, Slim, how's it going, dude? How's life in London? I was in London not that long ago, like last week, for work. So it should bind URI, post binding. Post binding is that. So that should bind URI. Okay. So I guess it will just, surely we'll just look at the params, right? Oh, range C params. For each thing in parameters. Okay, no, it's fucking about with params. I thought params was the URL parameters. I may be wrong though. So in theory, if we just do this, this will work, right? Yeah, bind URI, map URI. What does that do? Bind URI, you give it a map with some parameters. Map formed by tag. Jesus, we're going deep into the implementation of this. Check if pointer is a map. Value of that. Yeah, at this point, I don't really understand what this is doing anymore. Set for map. So in theory, let's see if this works, but if we were to mess about with this, c.uri or something, URL request URL specifies either the URL I've been requested or the URL to access. For client requests. For server requests, the URL is parsed from the URI. Can I set this? Specifies the URI being requested for server request or the URL to access for client requests. For client requests, the URL host specifies the server to connect to, while okay. URI being requested, right? So it is for server requests, which is what we have here. It should be that. So we should be doing something like post and then the ID, right? Which is, I guess, fmt.sprintf. We can do this, and we can do a digit in here, I guess. Right, so why does this not work? Cannot use sprintf as URI. Okay, it has to be a particular parameter, I guess. There's a pointer to that as well. God damn it. Oh, no. No, no, no. This is not fun. I did not want to create the whole thing here. Is there a way I can create this? So create URL. Let's just see where it's used. Parse, there you go, raw string. So if we do gin.parse, we should be fine with that, right? A path without a host or absolute starting with a scheme, right? So yeah, in theory, if we do gin.parse or gin.url.parse, I guess, gin.url.request. Where's the parse thing? Jesus Christ. So this is in url.go. Toolchain, which is it in a namespace or anything? No. Okay, let me figure out what function this is, because Jesus Christ, it's difficult. Gin.url. Is URL not a thing? Parse, yeah. I'm gonna have to Google, because I can't get the right intelligence for it. Gin URL parse. Do. I am wondering if this is even possible, because it might be just part of the API they don't actually expose, right? It seemed to be though, just because it's got a capital here, and it's in a package URL. Oh right, this is not. This is oh gosh, this is URL, I guess. Or url.parse or something. That's what it should be. There you go. That's better. Yeah. That makes way more sense. And now we can do c.request.url equals to that. Except this won't work because this returns an error as well. So URL, we get that. Oh. Gosh, already. URL. That should work, right? So if we pause it, yeah. And if is null, we do, I guess, a log dot error f or something. Error sgf. parse URL. In fact, D there. Okay, we should be getting there soon, right? So now we can do c.request.url, that's equals to URL. And in theory, we should have the right stuff here. In theory, right? So let me see if that will at least work. So we have permalink post ID. Post ID, it just gets passed in that. Great. Can we start this? In fact, I'm going to just kill the Docker Compose. I'm going to do it directly from the debugger. Yeah. If you guys haven't done it yet, please like and subscribe to the channel. I think most of you are already subscribed, so thank you. But do like the stream though, because it does help me out, as you know. Blah blah blah. Okay. I started the wrong app, didn't I? Started the admin app. Damn, this Lucozade is giving me energy. Fucking hell. Blocked by YouTube. Ahmed. No. So Ahmed was blocked by the workers. Oh. Ahmed was here, but then he just got blocked by YouTube somehow. That is interesting. So he's no longer on the stream because of that. I didn't know Turkey had a grey firewall as well. Right, so the permalink, let's take a look at this, right? So, boom. Arkonav, now I'm here. What the hell, dude? You said you were blocked. I didn't read the whole message. Just a message got blocked. All right, I see, fair. So, what was the permalink again? Permalink get on hello, right? So hello is what I want. Okay, it kind of works. Invalid post ID. So that's good, right? That is great. And on the second time round, we should not get that. Or maybe we should. This is interesting. So that's very interesting because it fails on the first time. But that's just the post ID that's probably wrong. Wait, what? Post 100, for sure we don't want that. Yeah, let's go into the post handler and see what happens, right? So post 1. Post handler will go into that. What do we have in the post binding? Yeah, we have ID 1 though, for sure. Okay, so post handler is working, but when I restart the app, I don't know why decaying materials that naturally occur, but sometimes explodes, get blocked. Okay, right. There's a few of them you could be talking about. I'm not going to ask which one it was because obviously you get blocked again. But I'm guessing it's uranium. Right. Let's take a second look here. So we get that, boom, goes into the post handler. Right, we don't. Yeah, so it doesn't bind it, that's why, right? It does not bind it. So should bind URI, binds the past struct pointer using the specified binding fields. So my question is, what does C contain? The C's URI full path is hello. The request URI should be what is interesting. So that didn't change. Request URI. Wait a second. Did I set the wrong thing? I think I might have. So I set the URL and it should have been URI. Find URI, request URI. There you go. And you're going to tell me that this is just a string as well, right? Yeah, this is just a fucking string. So basically, we don't need any of this parsing. Because it should have been there. Better, for sure, but I have to use such convoluted explanations to evade the filter set by an asshole, I'm gonna guess. If I describe what that person is, I definitely get blocked. Dude. I mean, depending on the wording, I might have to block yourself, dude. I'm only joking. Right, so what do we have here now? Ah, no. So it still doesn't bind. Let's reverse engineer this. So full path is there. Request URI should be post 1. And should bind URI. Okay, let's rerun this. Let's rerun this real quick. I'm going to step into Jin's code to figure out what they're doing. All right, we go into here. So params is 0. That's the thing. Maybe I should also set params to something. Or in fact, just params. And I think params should be whatever the post handler is expecting. So we'll do that. Let me just reply to a message that I got on WhatsApp. There you go. So this whole approach is a little bit wrong, right? Because actually, we should not be setting the request URI. We should be setting the params. In fact, append, I guess params, and then the actual gin.param. Key is going to be, right? Param. Key is something, which we'll figure out in a second, and then the key and the value is something as well, right? So that might not be necessary, the URI setting. And what it has to be, I'm going to take a wild guess, but it has to be whatever the URL is expecting, right? So something like ID, right? So this will be ID, and the value will be, does it have a type? Does it have to be a string? It has to be a string, right? So fmt.printf. That has to be the post ID. This is the wild guess. May or may not work. Why can't I append parameters? Value of slicer parameters not used. What? Append, slice, and then the types of elements. See, params is definitely an array of them, right? Yeah, it's definitely an array of param. So why is this not? Value of slice type gin params is not used. But it's, yeah, I mean, because it's used in here, right, dude? Oh yeah, this, I forgot about that. This doesn't do it in place. It returns like a new slice with the element in there. God damn it. This is me doing Golang for a while now. Right, so in theory, they should work a little bit better. Hello, Muslite. Hello again, dude. You were here, then you dropped out. Right, so let's try that again. So we hit that, hit the endpoint here, should bind URI. Finally. And it just magically works. We got part of the way there. So obviously if I hit this again, I'm going to guess that it should just cache for me. So yeah, okay. If I hit this again, it's no longer going to hit the endpoint because it's been cached. And that's what we want, right? Bad connection, mate, having troubles lately. Shit, dude. Need to get on that fiber optic for sure. So now obviously the point here is how do we implement, how do we get the unique links, right? So we need to support a few things. I'm fucking leaning towards putting it on the database. I could also put it on the config, I guess. So the config will have the permalinks available. Like we could have something like Urchin. Instead of navbar, we'll have, I guess. Oh yeah, here's the gallery, by the way. We have like permalinks or something. Or in fact, just permalinks. And that could be like an array of object, right? So the permalink like hello, something like that, and the post ID will be 1. Or we can do this on a database. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think I should do? Which one do you prefer? I must say that I prefer the config just because I can definitely get that done on stream very quickly, but the database seems like a better place to put it just because the posts have been stored in there, right? We can just add a new table that will hold the permalink information for us. In other words, the permalink ID, which will be this, I guess the key, the primary key will be the permalink itself. But that's the thing, we have to pre-register all these routes, right? So if we were to get from the database, it would literally just be a query to get all of the permalinks we have in the table and then batch register all of them so the app is ready to listen. Whereas in here we get that for free as well. So do I go towards increasing the dependency on the database, or do I just do it on the config? I think for this point, for this part, I might just do it on the config, to be honest. So it should be very easy for us to get that working. Is this the best way to kind of represent this? Because I'm not too sure. I'm going to say yes, but okay, so if we were to do like a bunch of these, the permalinks need to be unique. Yeah, they will need to be unique as well, for sure. So that would be like, I guess, whether we read it from the database or the config, there will be a step that will check that you're not redefining a permalink, right? So I'm thinking I'm leaning towards that. Also, like things that we add to the database will have to be added to the migrations, which I'm not that keen of doing on the stream right now. I might eventually support both. I think both could be good, right? But I think for ease of use, definitely very easy for us to add here. If SoDB makes it easier to check for unique entries, it's easier to make mistake in a TOML file. Yeah, you are right. I may be convinced here. I may be getting convinced. Or is there a way to validate that? I mean, yeah, there is a way, right? You read the config and you will essentially put all of this information into a map or one by one. And if that map, if at some point you're adding something that already exists, it's fucked, right? That's basically it. But because the posts are already stored in the database, though, I think it does make more sense to add it to the database, if I'm honest. So I think we do that. Let's see what we need to do. So, yeah, we need a few for sure. So we will need, first of all, let's do the migration, right? So the migration in here. Which one can we copy? Goose. New. Right, let's see what command I use. There is a command to create a new migration. I can't remember what it is, to be honest, because I've not done it in such a long time. Goose add. Yeah, there you go. Goose add SQL. Yeah, okay. Let's just look at those. Okay, right. So goose add add migration. Oh, add permalink table. Post permalink table dot SQL. Now, come on. 1 second, I'm just something up. Okay, we're still charging, so it doesn't matter. How often Node.js is used as backend language in big company? Very, very often, my dude. Basically, everywhere you go, you're gonna have a Node backend. Yeah, Golang is fairly well used as well, but Node definitely wins on that, I think. So yeah, we add that. Okay, we're missing a few things. What are we missing? What are we missing? So Goose options. What are the options that we have? Add, redo, validate, create. I've they changed the way this is used? Yeah, goose create, right. They have changed this. Name SQL, create new migration. Okay, right. Great, now we can have that add permalink, post permalink. And I'm probably just going to create a new table that has the permalink as unique. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? So for that, I'm going to probably copy from the add post table. Copy into here. And then slightly change it. So post permalink. So we definitely want the permalink path here, and that will be text, I guess. Primary key auto increment. What is it unique? Well, we can have auto increment for sure, but primary key will be the one. Does the fur come with performance loss while using with workable? I have no idea, dude. I don't think so. It's just unwinding the stack, right? So the compiler should be fairly efficient at doing that. So every time an error occurs, it would just call a defer function. So I don't think you get any performance. But again, this is just me getting stuff out of my ass. You'd have to go and actually, you actually have to go and Google for this, because I don't know. And then we have the post ID, I guess, which is not no. This doesn't have to be unique, but it will be a integer, right? What do we have? Integer primary key, right? I think that's pretty much it. This is the table. This is basically the table. Okay, now I would like to put a unique. I like to put a unique constraint in here, but I'm not sure if it's just unique, right? So SQL MariaDB unique constraint. I'm pretty sure it is just unique. Yeah, it is just unique. Column name, data type unique. Fair enough. I don't know why I don't trust myself sometimes. Okay, and delete that. Fine, we've got that. And then on the database, we actually have to provide a get permalinks function, which will return. Oh, right, interesting. So I think we probably create a new one here. Page permalinks. Yeah, let's just create a new one. Permalink. All right. Common permalink. We will have something like the permalink or the path, right? I guess. And the post ID here. Remove those. We want it to be path. I'm not sure if we really need the JSON anyway. Probably not, to be honest, but okay. So, but this will be useful for the request for sure, right? So it's at least tied to the, yeah, because we'll be able to support uploading your own permalinks. We can do that on Postman in a second. Right. So get permalinks. This will return a list of common.permalink. And where is get page defined? Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Let's see what that get page is defined. This will fuck up with all my tests as well, because they will all fail after I add these functions, but I don't care, really. Function SQL. There you go. So we have a function here. We take DB SQL database, get permalinks. We do nothing, but we return an array of common.permalink. An error there. Right. Yeah, welcome to the Discord, my dude. Just how you joined. I need to turn on the lights in a second because it's getting quite dark in here. Not sure if you guys can still see me. Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, you're fine. You can still see me. Right. So it's just going to be an easy query, right? I guess. I'm going to just copy and paste. Select ID, select permalink, and post ID from post permalinks. And there is no where clause. Right, yeah. There is no where clause. Okay. Your bright personality seeps out your skin. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I always appreciate the little compliments you give me, Harkona. I don't know what I'll do without you, man. Don't get compliments like that from anyone. Yeah, join the Discord, Matt. Nice one, Kamal. Welcome, dude. I'm always online in there, so if you want to ask questions regarding coding or anything, let me know. Right, so if error, basically we just copy this, right? Yeah, I remember being stuck on this for a while, like this particular line of code here. This is basically, we added the fur here, so you can cascade up the errors and then also close the database at the same time, or the connection. Yeah. Okay. Right. But I remember like spending a good 20 to 30 minutes on the stream at some point doing this. I'm not sure if you guys remember. But yeah. Okay. So at this point we have rows. We can just iterate. Right, we can iterate over them. Obviously we're going to change this to permalink. And it will be an array of that. Yeah, I'm not sure, like in Golang, there's two ways of doing it. So you can create an empty slice like that, or you can create it with make. I'm not sure if the inline one creates an array and not a slice, so it might be more efficient for you to create a slice. Yeah. Let's do it this way. I don't know, performance-wise, which one's better, to be honest. Let's figure that out, shall we? Should I use make or inline array? Golang. When to use make versus inline arrays. So make will allocate and initialize memory for the string slice. In your example, blah, blah, blah. Contains 3 empty strings at indexes 0 to 2. Followed by items macOS, Linux, Windows. In the end, you have a slice with 6 elements, not 3 as you probably expected. Wait, what? Make will allocate memory for the string slice. In your example, OS list 2. This. Ah, so it already initializes it as well. Okay, so make will initialize it. So using make when you know beforehand how big a slice you need, or you need to index the slice at specific positions, or if 0 values are in some way useful to you. If you just need a slice to append items to, you can simply define it with this. You can also make sense not to use make if you need to initialize the slice with specific values, like you do with OS list. Right. Yeah, I mean, to me, you can use, it sounds like you can use either. So let's do this instead, right? Okay. Wait, do we have like rows, not size in here? Size or length? Does len of row work? Invalid argument, rows. Built-in len. Okay. Yeah, because if you know the size beforehand, we can just modify them, right? Columns, close next, results, scan. Yeah, no, we don't. We don't know them. That's fine. So we just do this. Right. So rows next. Let's figure out how to actually iterate over the rows, because we do have an example of that somewhere. Get posts, there you go. So we do for rows next, right? That's it. And then we do a scan, I guess, on the row. What do we do? Get posts, there you go, rows scan. This is the interesting part. Ah, gosh. And we're gonna insert that into permalink.path, and then permalink.postid. We don't need the last one. And if we couldn't scan it, we do a big log error msgf. MSGF kind of reminds me of, well, MSG in food, right? That delicious little powder, that delicious white powder. I know it's not the one you're thinking of. I'm talking about the food, the thing you add to the food. Yeah, so I guess could not get permalink from DB. And we do v here, and then we just put the arrow there, I guess, and then we return this, and then error. Okay, we just passed the error up. That's fine. And if we've scanned it, we should, in theory, be able to do a page equals append. This is actually not meant to be called page. It's meant to be called permalinks. Permalinks append. And we do permalink. And that is it, right? No, because that is defined it. Right, there you go. That's in theory it for you to get all of them. Now the thing is, we also probably want to add one, right? So we probably have add permalink where you pass in a common.permalink into here. And I guess there'll be an int? No. Just error, I guess, right? Yeah, because we don't really have a permalink ID at all. Is it worth our migration actually having something other than the permalink as the unique key? So just, I guess, the ID? Something like integer, unique, primary key, auto increment or something? Probably, right? And then, yeah, okay. I mean, that sounds doable for us. What do you guys think? Because then it gets auto incremented. We have a way to iterate over them as well on the DB. Should be, yeah. I guess it could be useful. I don't know though. So, but if we have that, we can display to the user the permalink ID that was just created. That's it. Because then you can use that same ID to delete it later. You don't actually have to remember what permalink it was. I don't know. Sounds useful to me, but I don't really know, to be honest. Permalinks. We're going to copy it from add page, I guess, right? Same fucking pattern everywhere. So SQL database, add permalink. We probably want to add permalink there. Insert into post permalinks. Post ID, the two values that we want. I forgot to actually give it a permalink dot path and permalink dot post ID, right? And then the rest can. Okay, so result last inserted ID could not get last ID. And then we return, okay, possibly unsafe conversion, make sure all the ints are int64 in the future. I'm going to leave this comment here because I don't really know what this may cause, but in theory we have these, right? So, we can add a handler for adding a permalink and one for removing it. We'll just do the add one for now, right? So if we go into admin, app admin, there you go. We can have a permalink post in here. And then we can have the permalink. Oh, wait, this is going to be interesting. Because obviously I can't put the permalink on the URL because that's going to match to something else, right? So it might have to be a URL parameter. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I can't request something like gourchin.com permalinks. Obviously this will be a post. And having like my permalink. Unless we assume that permalink will not contain slashes, right? Then it might work. It might work. Yeah, let's do it this way, actually. Permalink and post ID, right? And then we can do post permalink handler. Again, we'll probably have to add whatever the post is. Hello, casual YouTuber. Dude, welcome. You said you're going to join and you actually did. How's it going, man? Permalinks.go. Yeah, we're just going to leave this one here. It's a bunch of logic. Oh, there's so much more that we don't need. So much shit we don't need. Right, so this will be the post permalink. Post permalink handler. And right in here, we can have common permalink for sure. Add permalink request. It's fine. Going well. How about you? I'm going great, dude. Actually had some time today to do some stuff. I just need to make sure I connect the charger. Ah, there you go. Otherwise you get a very low stream. I'm going great. It's been very busy lately, as you can probably tell. Not been doing a lot of streaming. But I'm glad to be here, to be honest. So glad to be here for sure. Making sure you guys can still see me. Because it's really dark in here now. Only one like, guys, like the stream. Yeah. Thank you, Robin. You're saving. Yeah, make sure you guys like the stream, please. Please. I kind of expected it, to be honest, because like if you're on YouTube and you don't do anything for like months, YouTube will make sure that people don't see the advertisements of your stream, and two, that the engagement is fairly low because only people who actually follow you, right, which is not many, will see like the stream notification. But that's entirely my fault, to be honest. I don't blame YouTube at all. To them, I'm just like a flaky YouTuber, which is fine. And that's life, right? Sometimes you have to give up on certain things to do others. And at the moment, yeah, YouTube wasn't my biggest priority. So request, no request body provided. Wait, JSON decode the body. Oh, wait, what? We don't want to decode anything at this point. Check required data, we don't want to do that. Like at this point, we should probably be using the gin should bind URI thing, right? Or in fact, c.should bind URI to add permalink request here. But then this, I've got to make sure that permalink matches the path. Oh. Yeah, let me do something. So struct, I'll type. I'm going to add an anonymous struct in here because I don't think I want to add another struct just for doing this, to be honest. I know I have one in images handler somewhere. Image.go app. Is that correct? No. It will be in image.go in admin app for sure. What I wanted is this syntax here. Just an anonymous struct somewhere. that will let me parse it. Right, so let's add that in there. Obviously, we're going to change some of the stuff. So this is, why did I do that? So this is the add permalink request. It's not an array of structs, but it is going to be, I think is URI something like that. So we have permalink here, and then we have the int, which is the post ID. And again, it is URI, right? There you go. So it's URI name, which for me is permalink, and then binding, I guess, required. And the same thing for this one. So URI post ID binding equals required. Right. Yeah, just empty at the moment, right? So that's all we care about. Right, then this should work. On a happy note, we have found a new client that we have started to work with. That's very good, Robin. Good, finally. The market is really shit at the moment, isn't it, I guess? Casual YouTube, I don't know if you know, but we know each other from work. I don't want to talk too much about it in case you prefer to keep that separate. Yeah, send me a message, dude, on Discord. I don't know who you are, but okay, I can kind of guess who you are because we were talking the other day, right? About ECSs, is that correct? Hey, Ricardo, how's it going, dude? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so Ricardo is the person who's been like pushing features non-stop to Urchin. So that's why it looks so good and so featureful at the moment. So thank you very much, Ricardo. Or you're Spanish, right? So hola, Ricardo. That's all I can say in my Spanish. Right, that should work. We should bind the URI at this point. We don't have a request body for sure. At this point, we also don't have that. That's for the posts. Add page, right. So this is where we actually call the database. So the database will be add permalink. And we have to add a permalink, right? So we do a permalink, db, that's going to go to common dot. Oh, right. Hey, dude. Welcome to the stream, I guess. Right. Hey, dude. Yeah, there's someone from work here who's actually really good. So I'm not going to say his name because I want to preserve the anonymity, I guess. Right. So permalink db. Yeah, that's where we actually do the common dot. What did I call it? Permalink, right? And we do whatever it's supposed to be. We have add permalink request, a post ID, and then we do the same thing here. But in this case, we have post ID, which is post ID permalink, right? That's what it should have been. Yeah, so in theory, we just call this with permalink db. Fuck, I'm getting too hot. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's like 27 degrees here in Manchester. I've got a fan pointing at me and I'm still sweating. You're welcome. Thank you for Urchin. No, no, it was Ricardo. Yeah, dude, there's a lot. If I get time this week, I'll work on it a little bit more. It's just, yeah, life's a bit crazy at the moment, to be honest. Right. So you have worked with Go a lot then. How would you find it? I'm going to find it very hard not to say a name, but yeah, dude. Yeah, Go is just my pastime. I don't really do it professionally. Never done it professionally, but I really like it. It's just very easy, you know. Like it's think of Python. Like you can write anything in Python very quickly, right? And it's just you can keep the syntax very simple and it's easy to understand. It's the same thing with Go. It's like if you think of C, it's just a better C, to be honest. But it's very, very good. Check out if you want to see what it looks like, by the way. I think that's the URL for the current project. There is some like automatic deployment, so hopefully if we get this PR merged today, we should see the changes in there for sure. Fuck. I just realized as well, like I forgot to actually include a link to the Git repository in the website, so it's not like anyone's going to find the website without the Git repository anyway. But yeah, I love Go, dude. I think you should try it out for sure. If you like JavaScript, which I know you do, you probably love Go. It's just like JavaScript, Node.js on the back end, but obviously with type safety and things a little bit more performant. There's out-of-the-box support. Well, there's out-of-the-box support for async, right? But with Golang, it's just another world. I think they're called Go. What are they called? Go routines, I think, which is like just an abstraction of well, the same thing as a coroutine, really. But you just put Go in front of your function, and then things just work. Like you don't have to make your entire chain. I guess you do. You have to make your entire chain async, but it's just a lot nicer, in my opinion. We don't do that much in here though, because Gin, the framework we're using for the backend, actually handles all of that anyway. So when you register a handler. But yeah, right. So you can judge the JavaScript on our website. We got a JavaScript expert here. It's very shit, by the way, very minimal. Right. So what am I doing? Common link. Add that in there. So why can I not do this? Cannot use add permalink. Type string as value int. Wait, what? What's post ID? Post ID is int. String is that. Hey, Iconaf, the kid alarm. Thanks for the stream, Matt. That was nice. No, it was very nice to see you, dude. So yeah, I'll let you guys know on Discord next time, and hope to see you again, Iconaf. Excited to see your game though. So make sure you send updates to the Discord. The last game you sent was it looks really good. It was just a little bit difficult for me to work out what you're meant to do. So I'll check the website, and maybe I should check the Golang too. Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. So for context here, Arconaf makes some incredible games with, I think it's Unity for the web, right? Arconaf, if you're still here. But they look really good. So if you guys want to check it out, ask him. The animation was so nice. Yeah, it was really nice though. Really satisfying. Let me just showcase that because I think it actually looked quite nice, to be honest. Without trying to dox anyone, I'm going to just open Discord. This is where I leak my entire chat history. Right, great. So, Dream Miner. Yeah, dude, it's just satisfying animations, really, Arconaf. There should be definitely like a little tutorial there, for sure, to teach you how to play the game, because I'm guessing there's like some distance kind of thing going on. But yeah. It's one of those games that will make you like really addicted. Just you can definitely put some ads and get some money in there, Arconaf. Just saying it. But yeah. Right. So the animation's so nice. By the way, you can call me Dan, I don't mind. Fair enough, Dan. I don't wanna it's just you never know who you're gonna meet online, right? So better not to dox. But yeah, Dan works with me. Great developer, by the way. The guy just carries the entire project, not gonna lie. Is that Roblox smirk as your profile picture? I don't know. I guess it is. Looks real good. Oh yeah, for Dan, yeah, I guess. You should have seen like the other one. Wait, can I filter the messages? Because the previous game was even better. Like really addicting as well. Man, it makes me want to learn Unity for the web. Right. Can I search for messages by Ahmed? There you go, make 10. That was a really good one. Let me actually play that on stream because it's pretty fun. Yeah. Do you guys know how pricing works in Unity? I guess it's not free to just put it live, right? You probably have to pay them something. And of course it doesn't work when I try it on stream. Made with Unity. This is going to be very loud for you guys, I'm sorry. So I have to make 10 if I'm not mistaken, right? So this is where I'm really dumb. Gosh. 3 plus 2, there you go. It's really hard to play under pressure, but I promise I'm better than this. There's no one there. I'm just going to refresh it. 1 plus 3 plus A, 2 plus A, 2 plus there. 5 plus 4, that will not do. 4 plus 7 will do. Yeah, but you get the gist. It's like really, really addicting. Really fun to play. So 5 plus 3, we can't really do anything there. 7. Oh, I missed that, of course. 3. You can just go clicking around, I guess, to kind of cheat on it. But yeah, really fun. You guys should go and check it out. I think my highest score on this was something like 600. I'm very shit at this game, but I'll post it on Discord as well for those wanting to check out. Let's go out. Anyway, right. No, it's really dark in here. Can you guys still see me? That's the. Let's try and finish this feature really quickly because I do actually want to go to bed at some point. Right, so we stopped at Permalinks, getting from the database here. We have an issue with not being able to use Permalink variable of type string as int value instruct literal. The path is not an integer. Oh, that's why. So I've got them the wrong way around. Right. It's like scratching my head. Why is this not working? And it turns out that I wrote the structure wrong anyway. Right, so I think this should be it, really. Like, we should probably return a JSON to the user, saying status okay, page response. Again, I might just do gin.h or something. Then we've got ID here or something. What should this be? I'm pretty sure I used gin.h, which is like an alias for any map kind of thing. Error. Okay, so it should be like a proper map. ID there, and then we also have. Yeah, that's it, right? That's what we're going to return. So in theory, if I start the app, create a new Postman request here real quick, just so you can see if it works. Urchin admin, pages, let's just create a new one. Add a collection, add folder, yeah. So rename, Permalinks. We have add request, add folder. Yeah, we're going to add request. This is going to be a post request to localhost there. Permalinks, and then we have. Yeah, I don't know. This is where we can set the values, right? So I know there's a way to do this in Postman. Is it permalink? And then we can also do something like post ID and change them in its setting somewhere. Make sure variable is defined. Yeah, good. I want to do that. So how do I define the variables here? Script body, authorization. Where's this defined? I mean, I don't really need to do this, right? I can just do something like my post, right? My post, and then it's going to forward to 1. So if I was to do that and actually hit the endpoint, what do we get? Chances are, like, nothing I write ever works, so it will definitely not work the first time around, but we can figure out what's wrong. And of course, I closed it. One important thing, which was the request. I'm going to rename this add permalink. Permalinks.go. Let's just put that in there. Did I register this in the app? I think I might have. I think I might have not actually. Oh, I did, yeah. Okay, so that in theory should at least get us to the call permalink, the permalink handler. Right, so what do we have here? Could not read toml file, expected that. Oh yeah, that's just me fucking about with the configurations. Right. Oh, sorry, Ricardo, I missed that. Path should be string and post ID int no. Yeah, you were right. I think you're just a little bit too delayed there. So we got that. Okay, so let's add a permalink, see what happens. Does this, oh, we forgot to actually, yeah, I need to do some checking here because that returns an error. Otherwise you may be able to, it will just crash if I don't check the error. Error is a nil. We are going to probably return a JSON saying error. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. Ooh. So line 22, paste that. So failed to add a post or invalid request. If I can spell invalid request for adding permanent. JSON common error. Okay, could not add permalink. Okay, right, that should be fine now. Try again. Have you ever worked with... Ooh, I don't even know what that is, man, so I'm going to search for it right now. Maybe I know, but what even is that? I16. I16N is the process of designing and developing a product or application so that it can be easily adapted to different languages and cultural settings. It's making your software, website international. Oh, internationalization. No, I've never worked with that one. I have done internationalization before, but not in any particular like standard. But yeah, dude. Usually, like I'm gonna explain to you how my mind works, right? So I get a feature, and I can think of it as a high level of what it should do, and I implement the simplest thing possible every time. So yeah, this is kind of the same. This is kind of how I've done internationalization before. Just is a map of like, yeah, here's a name for what I want, and the value is just like the actual language, right? Depending on what, it would just have like different languages attached to it. I guess this is probably the de facto way of doing it. So I'll take a look at this, but no. Short answer is no. I've never worked with it. Sorry about that. So right. There's also L10N localization. Yeah, Dan will know more than me for sure. Do we do any of that work? Probably not, right, Dan? I'm gonna say no. But right, did I restart the app in the first place? Dude, I just want to add a permalink. Right, so we got that in there. Okay, let's paste the permalink. Okay, no errors at the moment. Post ID. We'll definitely get an error here. Yeah. Right, so what do we get? So Urchin, table Urchin permalinks doesn't exist. That's right, that's because we haven't run the migrations, right? So we need to run the migrations that we've just created. So use, what's it, UrchinDB or something? In fact, yeah, let me just history and grep use. And which one do I want to run? I want to run 9439, I guess. No, that one there. 9440, right? Okay, now it should exist for sure. Yeah, god damn it. Got the migration, but I actually forgot to add it in the first place. To be honest, you probably know more than me about coding stuff. I don't know, man. It depends. Like, obviously, I've been doing it for longer, I guess, but it depends. Depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about JavaScript, you definitely know more than me for sure. If you're talking about random C++ shit, then yeah, I unfortunately know a lot of it. Wait, did it work first time? Fucking hell, this is probably one of the first times I ever write something that works the first time around. Right, so if I log into the MySQL, SQL select the Urchin, or select, or use Golang CMS in fact, use Urchin. Is it described? Is it wait, what was the migration file called again? Add permalink, post permalink. It was called post permalinks. Post permalinks. Right, yeah, it did actually add to the database. I'm surprised. So in theory, we should be able to query that in the main app and run through all of the permalinks we got, if it works, right? I guess, and yeah, go from there. So we've got app.go in admin app. So instead of the permalinks that we have here, we're going to replace this entire thing with db database get permalinks. Yeah. So permalinks error. We're going to do that, and error isn't nil. We do a log dot error dot msgf. So now get permalinks. Okay, and we kind of leave it as that, I guess. I guess we can put an else and kind of just do it here, right? So kind of like that. So permalink post ID. So we have, I'm pretty sure it's iterator first, and then actual key. Permalink.path. Wait, no. What is this returning me? God damn it. Can I use database permalinks value as map? Okay. Let's just remove that. Okay. Now that should work. Path. And then we have permalink post ID. And I think the rest should be fine, right? Because we've added this function that automatically creates the handler for a given post ID. I do want to kind of just go through this and see if the logic makes sense. So starting the normal app. Fuck. Sorry, I need to catch up with the chat here. So we found a potential client that was from London, and they needed the service to be translated to English. So we had 15 days to translate our whole service and app so it could support language select. It was the worst 15 days of my life. That sounds horrible, not gonna lie. Did you add something like that? Yep. And not only that, had to fix all dates and times to support time zone. Wait, was it in a weird like American time zone? And you had to, but now done, and at least easy to add more languages now for sure. Yeah, dude, that must have been a crunch. It's one of those things, like I would get whatever, I'm guessing you have Node on the back end, right? I'll probably just get a Node package that supports the, I guess you have to manually find all the strings and then like change them to get whatever values from this I18 thing map. I guess it's a map in the end, right? For the language. Yeah, sounds painful, to be honest. Depending on the size of the code base, sounds painful. Something I'll definitely not want to do. Permalink, yeah, okay. So we have that. So in theory, if we do my post, which is what it was, right? My post. And if it works, I'm just gonna chat shit for the other half an hour. My post. Why is it not? Oh, it's not working because I've got a big breakpoint there. Yay, it does work, right? Great. So I can, for example, add another one to, let's say, the Urchin guide, which is supposed to. I can just go create, just get the admin app running for a sec so we can talk to the database. And then Postman. Permalink. My post, no head or something, right? And that directs to 2. Okay. I'm fairly confident that this works. There's no, yeah, I need to just work on the testing for this as well, because like I've only got like 39% of lines covered so far in the entire thing, which is not great, I know. But yeah. So, okay. Yeah, in theory, we've got that on the database now, so we should be able to start the app and then just do no head or something, and that will give me. Oh fuck! I still have a breakpoint somewhere. Fuck me. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So permalinks done, completed. Yeah, the only bad thing is that obviously because I'm using URL parameters to add the permalink in the post request, I can't really have like another slash in here. So you can only use like alphanumerical URL friendly, which is something I should be doing as well. Probably parsing the URL parameters just to make sure we don't have any weird characters in there. Right. What have I missed? I missed to do that. It was about a year or two. Wait, no, directional regard. Oh, there's some tricks at least to make it bearable. Oh yeah. Gray structure makes custom hooks and wrappers that you can reuse, so you only have to do the help work in one place at least. Wait, is this? I missed out the entire conversation there. Yeah. Fair. Okay. Yeah, I think we just merge this now, right? So GitHub. I'm just gonna push everything that I can find here. Wait, you guys can definitely not see me now, so let me turn on the lights. I'm still sweating. Right, so we've got migrations. What do we want to add? So yeah, definitely these three for sure. And we also want to add stuff, right? We want to add permalinks, common permalinks. We want to add and a migration there. Micromodal test. Okay. Okay, so just going to do a check, and we're going to okay. Now, this is definitely not going to pass the pipeline, because there'll be some linting shit that's going to fail for sure. But we'll see. In the meantime, is there anything we can actually look at while that's happening? Wait. Why has he already passed? Oh, yeah, it's just running everything. Right. Wait, Ricardo, are you still here, by the way? I don't suppose Ricardo's here, right? Just wanted to ask you guys, dude, what you're gonna do with the Swaggo PR, because I definitely changed it a little bit. I need to figure out an issue with the linters, because like basically we include some generated code in the Urchin build, but those are not available at the time of linting, so I'm gonna have to fix that, because basically we want to generate the code before linting it, which is not ideal. Probably add like 10 seconds to this, but I don't really care. Apart from that, dude, yeah, nice. So apart from that, I think things just worked. I managed to figure out a way to redirect the request so you don't have to put index.html on the end. I'm not sure if you took a look at that, but it's basically, that was the solution. You just like hook into the gin context and then change the path. It was just me fucking about with gin, to be honest, like going in and seeing what the handler was doing for it. But yeah, I mean, managed to fix all of it. And yeah, thank you very much for actually documenting most of the endpoints, dude. I definitely just added an endpoint that's not documented, but I will take some time in the future to actually like document everything. Right, so yeah, as I said, something is not going to work, and we've got to figure out what. Oh yeah, there you go. Remember when I told you guys that adding a new database method is going to fuck up with all my tests? That's why. That is exactly why. It's because I have a database mock somewhere. Yeah, it's to do with like Golang and interfaces. So you kind of have. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about interfacing Golang, to be honest. So you just automatically get interface inheritance, put it that way. It's not really inheritance. If your structure defines or implements all of the methods in an interface, but there is no support there on the compiler to actually say, right, you've broken this inheritance now, so your database mock no longer works, essentially. Which, yeah, is not ideal. But it's just me having to change the database, I guess, now. Okay, so we've got database, just close everything else, I don't care. I basically need to implement these two in there. Wait, where's database mock? Did I close that as well? Yeah, not great, not the best. So we have add permalink handler which is a function that will get that return string there. It's a func that takes nothing. Okay. And I probably should also add these somewhere in here, right? Okay, so let's just create a macro real quick to do this. So we go to the end, create a func, space that. Oh, we already had a function. Delete a word, do that, and then pass in a DB, I guess. Oh no, yeah, we want to do a DB database mock in here. Go to the end, add that. Okay, so okay, great. Oh, that fucked up, didn't it? Okay, so it's based more get page function, get page, get add permalink. Wait, yeah, add permalink. Oh. Yeah, did I misspell that? No, not at all. I think that's right. Okay, great. I could have just put it in the macro actually. So add permalink, and then we have get database. Oh no, get permalinks. Okay. Return db.get permalink. Or add permalink handler with what in there? Okay, that should be fine, hopefully. Too many return values. What? Permalink. Oh yeah. There you go. That was why. That's why my macro messed up. I couldn't decode in live. Chat would always distract me, assuming anyone would even join. You've been impressed. I actually started like nearly 2 years ago, actually, and yeah, just for fun, for sure. Like, it's just to keep my YouTube channel active. But then people join in the end. You meet great people as well, like Robin, right? Robin's been with us for like basically the entire thing. Back when I was doing DS programming, Nintendo DS. Yeah, I remember that. That was like 2 years ago now. Fucking hell. But people always join. Like, as long as you're doing it for fun, people will join. That's what I can say. Right, so I can run this command locally as well, I'm pretty sure. Because I've got Golang CMS. Let's just copy that and make sure things do actually run. Time flies, yeah, man. Time flies. Time flies when you're busy. Flies even faster. Yeah, Dan, you should get into, if you're not already doing it, just like work on personal projects. Because like work is nice, right? But once you do your hours, you know, work on things you actually enjoy working on. It's what makes coding actually bearable for me. Otherwise, it's just work, right? And I definitely get these bursts of like motivation sometimes where I'm just working for actual work until 10 p.m. just to get something done. But yeah, I'm already 25 years old. What happened? Dude, I'm going 30 next year, so you better show up, man. I'm going 30 and I'm losing my hair. It's fun, trust me. It's fun. Time flies for sure. The way I think about it, like I'm still fairly lucky to be able to work with something I enjoy, right, which is coding. Like you could be living a life where you're just bound to working in a supermarket or something where you don't actually enjoy it. I mean, not trying to take it away from supermarket workers because it's still, you know, a very valid job, but I know there's a lot of people doing things they don't enjoy. At least we get to do something we enjoy, right? As long as it lasts anyway, because AI is coming for our jobs, right? Right, so fix CI. Oh, I don't need to push. Actually, fuck it. Let me just fix this real quick. Right. Now, second time lucky. Not sure the test will pass, but at least we... I wanted to show you guys the thing that I've been working on last week, which was the entire deployment straight into the website, but... Clearly that's not going to... Oh, anyway, I mean, it's not going to work because I haven't added it to the Docker image in the first place. Like, we'll run the migrations for sure, but then there's not going to be any permalinks in there. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a personal project actually using Playwright to E2E test it. I agree with Matt, yeah. Yeah, link it to me, Dan. Maybe I'll be interested in helping out at some point. I just push shit to random GitHub projects every now and then. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't yet done it, I'm trying to get to 100 stars. So start the project on GitHub. I appreciate quite a lot. I need to figure out where this project is going as well, because at the moment, like all the rendering for HTML is done on the server side with Temple. So we're just serving HTML essentially. Temple is quite nice, I must say. Temple is really nice to just work with Golang as if it's PHP, right? Because you can put Golang in your HTML source. But it doesn't let people put themes in it. So like if you actually want to make this customizable to users, unless your users are writing the Temple themes, which is unlikely because no one really knows Temple. It's very difficult to work with, pluggable themes in here. So I was talking to Al, which is the second contributor that we have here. And we have some big plans for this for sure, like supporting client-side themes for once. And we're probably going to use some sort of, HTMX like, well, we already have HTMX, right? But it's going to be enabling users to just plug into the AJAX calls that HTMX makes and then render their themes on the client side, so it's easily customizable. But I don't know when that will come, to be honest. That it will take a lot of work for sure. Exactly, that's why we build our own service, and I hope that it will be able to provide enough so we can pay rent, because when we'll have our own product, then we can go, which is awesome. Hey, I'm currently setting up Playwright on our project. You can hire Dan. Dan will do it. Really good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we use... I don't usually like to talk about what we use at work because I don't want anyone like firing me for saying too much, but we do use Playwright for testing. I think that's industry standard anyway, right? So I'm not really saying anything here, but Playwright is like the de facto end-to-end testing thing for UIs because it does render everything quite nicely, and you can make like videos, you can take screenshots of things, so it's quite nice actually. I just never got to learn it, to be honest. Never got to learn it. Fucking hell, why is the build taking so long? Oh, it's just GitHub being slow as fuck today. What else is I gonna say? Yeah, that or Jest. Yeah, I've heard about Jest. I never really played with it though. I have, however, played with Playwright a little bit, and it's nice and all, but it's really slow for fine. Especially when running on pipelines. I've tried like creating a little Playwright pipeline. I still need to do it actually. That will actually render Urchin locally and then click on things and open menus and stuff. But it just added like literally 5 minutes to my pipeline, and I'm on the free tier here on GitHub, and I'll really use that up really quickly. So it's not ideal. Yeah, GitHub has been slow today for sure. Yeah, fingers crossed will work. I was thinking maybe we add a little... Yeah, maybe we add a little migration for an example permalink, right? So let's do that with Goose real quick. So we've got migrations. So we've got Goose driver. No, I want to do Goose create, right? Goose create or something? Yeah. Add post permalink example. It's SQL, and I can post permalink example.sql. And I'm literally just going to copy this from database.go, I think. post permalinks? Yeah. So into post permalinks, permalink post ID values, and then we can have something like, I don't know, no head here, and then it would just be 2. Right, I can. What is the command for dropping everything from the table, but not the table itself? Fuck, dude, SQL is something that I should know by now, but like I learn it and then I don't use it for years, and I, and I forget it. Delete, there you go. Delete where, because that has to be the tear down command. Delete from table name, right? So easy to remember. Yeah, I'm stupid as fuck. Okay, so we're going to add that migration as well, just so we can have something on the end-to-end app. So I can show you guys that it actually does work. That is 5. Okay. Actually, I want to rebase this anyway. I want it to be all in a single commit. Right. For some reason, the auto-generated playwright config forces one worker to CI, so that might explain it. All right, I didn't know that. We use a monorepo as well, so it was extra annoying to set up. Damn, that is good to know. They have one worker by default. At least that's what I saw. There must be a setting to change that, right? Surely. How does using a monorepo make it worse, out of interest? Yeah, good question. It should be the same, right? Oh, fuck. Unit tests are not doing good. Which ones actually failed? Do raw logs. Fail. Fail to add post, require data excerpt. Fine, that's part of the test. Fail. Test index success. Why? Why did it fail? Runtime. Invalid memory address, only pointer reference recovered. Dude, this is a fucked up one to fix as well. Oh. Right. What is the issue here, my man? Tell me. What the fuck? Right, let's just debug this because I have no idea. No idea what's going on here. Right, where's the call stack? Call stack, run. God damn it. Get permalinks. Why is get permalinks being called? Ah, I know why. I think I know why. Database mark. We've got that. Return. Database. Oh, there might be an actual issue here. What's the problem? Well, let's rerun the test real quick. Mostly paths and migrations for the DB because we have that in separate workspace and linking the configs. Not hard, just a few more steps. But that was what I felt. Could have been that I did it late. No, my brain used to be 5%. Yeah, never do anything meaningful late now, dude. That's what I can. Whenever I stay working till late, like I never create anything good past like 8 p.m. To be honest, there's always shit code for sure. So, common app settings. Why am I not debugging this? Why can't I debug it? Let's just do a make build real quick. Fuck. I love when the debugger just stops working. That's amazing. Just reload window and hope for the best. I'm going to take it that he was like trying to debug an older test. That's why I couldn't hit the breakpoint, but we'll figure it out now. Yeah, There's definitely a bug in VS Code there for sure. Right, so set up routes defer function. Right, so that is what fails. Let's run it again. Set up routes. I'm pretty sure that it's not the cacheable handlers, is the permalinks. So db, which is all nil. Ah, I see. Right. Okay, this is painful because that means I have to add like a dummy thing for every single one of them. For now, just for the sake of getting this in, I'll fix the test later. I think I'm going to just return common.permalink there and nil. Okay, that should fix the tests, I think. We'll figure out now. If I just run it without debugging. Okay, great. Yeah, that will do it for now. I do actually need to mock it properly though at some point. Git rebase, yeah, head is obviously capital. I also played around with it. If I should wait, I also played around with it. I should run play around on the next step server as it. Wait, fuck it. I'm just not reading things properly now. I also played around with. I should run playwright on the next dev server as it is, or if it should run on the build version of the project. Probably build, right? That's, I don't know. If it is an end-to-end test, right, you probably want to run the playwright on the actual build of your application, not the dev one, because that's what customers see. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. There's benefits to running on the dev. I guess you get better call stacks, and if you've not minified your code and stuff like that, then you get better diagnostics. But it depends. Depends on what you're trying to test, really. Right. My man, this has been a long one. Yeah, maybe I'll be doing some C++ stream next time. There's this audio visualizer we started doing on stream ages ago. I still haven't finished it. And to be honest, I've not looked at the code in maybe 2 months. So that'll be fun to get back. But I'm going to be honest, like I've not done any C++ in ages overall. Like even at work, I've done a little bit of C++ like this week, but I need to practice again. Otherwise, I'm going to forget everything I've learned over the years, and that would be terrible. Imagine that. I'm already not good at JavaScript. Not already good at Go. Not good at Go at all, actually. Python, all right. I mean, I can do things, but yeah, the one language I know very well, I just can't forget it for sure. One sec. So yeah, I call it end-to-end tests here, right? But literally all this does is make sure that the compose still works and runs for 20 seconds. It's definitely not an end-to-end. This is where I would add playwright for sure. Because like it spawns the Docker compose setup that we've got here. And then it would actually hit the web page and then get playwright to actually make sure things look the way they should be. But this is already like so long. And then adding playwright to this was another like 5 minutes, and wasn't very keen on it, to be honest with you guys. Oh god. I just want to merge this today. How hard can it be? Click to close. Oh shit, Ricardo, you've got another PR here that I've missed. I'm gonna check that out right now. Not sure if you're still here, dude. right? This is not meant to be here for sure, right? This is part of the Swagger. The Swagger PR. Wait, what the fuck did you add to the Go mod? Caused such... Oh yeah, Swagger, that's why, yeah. So this is also not meant to be here. Yeah, if you're watching this in the future, Ricardo, I think you've just accidentally pushed the Go mod from a different directory. Oh, sorry, from a different PR, which is the Swagger one. So you see, when you do that and you add something to the Go mod, you will inherently add like another 20 dependencies. So because I have them in the main. Oh, right. So what I suggest you do that, dude, is yeah, I saw you doing that a few times actually. I didn't comment on it, but on your branch, on your fork, just create new branches for your feature work and then merge those branches as the PR in my branch, because then you keep everything isolated, if it makes sense. And yeah, you can always rebase to main once things are merged. So, but at least you should be getting rid of these for sure, like if you do it that way. Right. Yeah, this is, I guess these are mostly just formatting changes. Again, probably not part of the... Okay. Right, see, because we have formatting changes here, it's kind of difficult for me to figure out what it is, but lucky for you, I do actually have a copy of your fork in here. This is not something I recommend, kids. If you if you have forks of a PR or of your project, do not run random people's codes for sure. But I kind of can see that your code doesn't include anything malicious, so I'm happy with that. Let's start Meld real quick. So yeah, Meld is I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but it's one of the tools that I really like. It was recommended to me by someone at work, actually. It just lets you easily see like differences in directories or in files, even if it's not on the same PR. Sorry, in the same branch. Something else failed. Oh, code call failed. Fucking hell. I'm going to merge it anyway because I don't care. Okay, everything passed. It's just the coverage that went down, obviously, because we added more code. So the percentage went down. But, yeah, I mean, shortly, maybe in 5 minutes' time, we'll have this running automatically on the website. So let's see if that worked. And I'll be happy to actually close the stream if that works. But let's look at your file comparisons, right? So if I go into my main, let's check out main. Right, so if we open Meld, which is somewhere, for sure, right? Did I close it? I think I accidentally closed it. Right. If we do a file comparison and pick the development Urchin, what's the file that you've actually changed here? That was the interesting thing. It was a JavaScript file, right? So I've got it on a different window. I believe the changes that actually matter are in images.js, which controls the modal selection. So if we look at, is it in static? It is in static, right? Shit, I don't even know anymore. Scripts, images there, file comparison, and then select the one in your Ricardo static, scripts, images there. Do a compare. Yeah, see, this makes it very easy for me to figure out the formatting changes only because the GitHub UI is trash for that because it will just show you like the entire green line. I'm not sure if it's my extension or something, but I can see that the code that actually that means that is actually different is this, right? So what did you add here? So okay, the window on load, what'd you do? Type refresh images function. Type of refresh image is a function. Call refresh images with window, key down, All right, if the key is down, you select the modal, and if it doesn't have, well, if it has an attribute, if it doesn't have open, so if it's not open, it will return. If the arrow left key, you prevent default and previous image. Wait, no, I don't get it. So is this supposed to close the image on modal? So I thought the intention was to kind of, wait, do I have, there you go. That's just, fuck, where is it? There. So the intention, I guess, was for you to, if you click on an image, yeah, you guys can judge my photography skills here. Click outside the box, it should close, right? That's what you meant to add. So how is this doing that? I don't get it yet. So if the key is down, which makes sense, if the key is down anywhere, and you get the modal element by ID, that's fine so far. And if it's not open, you return. Otherwise, if it's an arrow left key, arrow right, we prevent image. Yeah, I'm not sure this does what you think it does, dude. It sounds like it. No, that's the navigation stuff. Right. Okay, yeah. Because I was going to say, this is exactly the same as what you had for the navigation PR, which, yeah, is already up. So this PR is actually not quite right, if I'm correct. Wait, no. This is feature to click to close modal, yeah. Is it an images temple then? No, it's still not. I see, yeah. Right, I see, yeah. Close if click. Okay, so where'd you use that? Refresh images. Why did Meld not show me that? Yeah, that makes more sense. I can see it now. Wait, am I tripping? So did I just not rebase? I'm tripping here. Urchin Fox, Urchin Ricardo. Git pull. Did I just not do a pull? Cons to get element by ID modal. Yeah, no, I get that. This is for the keys, right? We've already got this in main, I'm pretty sure, because I can do this, right? I'm doing the keys here, so it's still working. So we've merged that from you last week, which is one of the things I changed in your PRs. I'm not sure if you remember. So the only interesting thing in the PR here is this function, which you do add to on load. So if refresh images and load images data, close if click out. Yeah, I see. No, this makes more sense. It's just that Meld wasn't showing me that for some reason, so I'm not sure if I'm on a is it git fetch origin main, git reset origin main. Let's try that. Okay, yeah. So I was on a different. For some reason, the pull didn't work. I think I was on the upstream because I have two upstreams here, so I can merge your stuff into with mine and vice versa. Yeah, so this makes sense. This is good. But this is the only part of the PR that I actually want merged. You see this and this. The rest is just noise from code auto formatting, I guess, right? Right, so we're deploying now. I'm going to just GCP or G Cloud compute, right? Okay, right. I had to log in from another window because I don't want to leak any credentials. But we're actually in the machine that's running the Urchin live thingy. Let's see if we have no issues, because sometimes this fails for random reasons. We should probably prune the previous images as well. I don't know, it's just satisfying like checking htop and seeing that increase, because this machine is very small, by the way. This is like a vCPU with a quarter of a CPU attached to it. So when you do like Docker Compose on this, you can see the CPU is going to 100% all the time. I had to like manually add swap memory because the memory that they give you in the E2 micro machine is just so small. It's difficult for you to even run like a Go build, for example. But the way we're doing things now, we don't even need a swap because we're not doing any building on the host machine. That happens on the pipeline. Like it creates the Docker image in there. So there you go. You can see that going up. That is I'm gonna guess that's Docker starting up. There you go, from the pipeline. You can see it. running here. So yeah. Okay, so at this stage, we should have pulled it in here. Docker should have left. Okay, so we should have these changes live at the moment. So if we go to the app, oh, bad gateway. Please don't tell me failed. Okay, it's just starting the app. Great. It's just Nginx. But if I do no head, is it no head? Yay, there you go. So the changes we've made here are live, and we have permalink support. Only problem is that I can't really add any permalinks because I obviously didn't start the admin app publicly because that talks to a database, and it would be very stupid of me to do that. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the progress we did on the stream for sure. I still need to do a bunch of tests. I still need to get a lot of things done aside from just merging that. So I don't even know why I merged without the proper infrastructure in place, but I had to split it for the comment. Anyway, I'm going to call the stream here, guys. So thank you all very much for joining. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Dan, for joining. I guess I'll see you guys maybe this week again if I can be asked, to be honest, depending on how much time I've got. I will say that I'm going on holiday next week, so you definitely won't see me from like Thursday to the week after on Wednesday or Thursday. But I'll try and get a stream before then, for sure. I'll try and do some C++, which we haven't done in ages, right? Yeah, with that said, have a good night, everyone. And much appreciated for the support. Yeah, take it easy. Bye-bye.